All right. Well, I think we have everyone here. All right. One, two. Yep. So should we go ahead and get this meeting rolling? I know it's 5 and it should be a quick one, so I'd like to respect everyone's time. All right. First off, the September 16th, 2025 meeting of the Barnstable Municipal Water Supply Board shall be conducted remotely and shall be physically closed to the public. Alternative public access shall be provided as set forth. There's remote access via the Zoom link. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast in the Town of Barnstable Government Access Channel in accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapters 30A, Section 20. The chair must inquire whether anyone else is recording this meeting, and if so, to make their presence known. This meeting can be replayed via Xfinity Channel 8 or High Definition Channel 1072. It can also be accessed via the Government Access Channel live video on demand archives on the Town of Barnstable's website. There's a link there if you want to go to it, or you can find it on the website. First item up is approval of the agenda. Does anyone have any questions or any edits on this?
I don't.
All right. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda of, what is today? September
16th.
16th. Thank you. I was drawing a blank. So
Roll
Great.
call.
I'll second it.
Thank you,
Okay.
Patrick. I'll do a roll call vote. Louise,
yes,
Patrick,
Yes.
Carlos,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
and myself, yes. All right. Next up is approval of the minutes from the last meeting.
big motion to approve.
Thank you. I'll second that. All right, roll call vote. Patrick,
Yes.
Carlos,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Louise,
Yes,
and I vote yes as well. All right, Kevin, you're up. Operations report.
Seamless. All right. Well, hello everyone. We will get right into it on Monday, August 2nd. Day of the curb stop replacements, apparently. Veolia staff were on site to perform an inspection on a service repair that was completed at 116 Old Town Road by our emergency contractor, Bortolotti. They replaced an old 1-inch service with a new 1-inch polyplastic from the curb stop to the main. In addition to that repair, Veolia also was called out to number 7 Ores Avenue for another inspection of a repair by Roderick Construction this time. Repair at the curb stop and a few feet of 1-inch pipe was replaced during that repair. A third and final stop for the day was another inspection and repair of a curb stop located at 70 Marston's Avenue. It was discovered in a previous visit to the address that the curb stop was inoperable. Bortolotti was in town. We had them replace that curb stop at the address as well. Thursday, August 7th and Friday, August 8th, Veolia staff alongside Mayor Well Services started our annual capacity testing on all of our wells. We do this each year to determine which of the wells are in most need of a rehabilitation during the fall and the winter. And after the capacity testing is completed, the town and Veolia sit down and discuss which 4 of the wells will make the cut for rehabilitation this year. During the capacity testing, it was discovered that the check valve located on the piping of the Simmons Pond well house was not holding correctly. This is an issue because we do not want any backflow of any type going back into the well house. So this is unique because it is joined with the Hyannisport well. In the piping, it's configured. So if Hyannisport's running and Simmons Pond is not, it'll actually push water back towards Simmons Pond. So with that check valve not holding, you're basically you're causing a backflow issue. So Simmons Pond was shut off and valved off until repairs could be made. And I'll tell you to flip your page real quick and just take a look. And those 4 pictures on the bottom are a result of, yep, that would be them.
Kevin, do you mind going in for a second? Is talking about what we're seeing there?
Yeah.
The colors aren't as good as the ones we got in the email photo, but
So
I think
basically, it's just it's a mess of iron and manganese that's building up, and it's natural stuff that comes out of the ground. It's just that's the imperative part of green sand filtration, and us working towards that with the construction of straightway is going to be paramount. And we have other issues as far as the iron and manganese up at airport is honestly even worse than what you just seen in there. That's pretty mild. So at least we're addressing it, and we'll get there.
yeah.
So back Thursday, August 6th, we excuse me, we received a phone call about a possible water break located in the vicinity of 88 Bayshore Drive. After a very short investigation, it was discovered that a homeowner was pumping their pool out onto the road and alarmed some close by neighbors. The 11th, Monday, we had staff on site at the Marydon treatment plant to assist Barbado Company with the install of the septic filters in MD2 lead carbon vessel. We discovered during the last carbon exchange the previous month that one of the 80 filters that are living inside the unit broke off, leaving a place for the liquefied carbon to escape and ultimately clog the vessel and the piping underneath it. In addition to that work being completed at Marydon Treatment Plant, we sent out some staff over to 188 Bayshore Drive to investigate a possible water break. Bortolotti was called in to locate and repair the leak. It turned out to be the corporation on the water main, and it was a service for number 200 Bayshore Drive. The service and corporation were repaired and put back into service. Thursday, the 14th, and we had Bortolotti back into repair, 2 more curb stops. The first one on the repair list was located at 35 Sylvan Drive, and the second one was located at 312 Oak Neck Road. Both curb stops were repaired and put back into service. You guys might be asking yourself, why so many curb stops this month? Yeah. And actually, it's a result of putting them off for the last 3 or 4 months, because unless they're like absolute emergencies, we're not allowed to open the road or make any repairs like that. And we do encounter these things because we're putting in meters 3 days a week, so we kind of stockpile them, and once we get 3 or 4 at a time, we'll go back and repair them all. And Friday, the 29th of August, we bid farewell to our O&M technician of the last couple of years, Leon Matachinos. Leon served Veolia and the Hyannis Water System proud, and we wish him the best of luck in his future endeavors. His next chapter includes becoming a commercial pilot, and will do so in a flight school on the West Coast. So we celebrate his departure with a small cookout and a little bit of a send-off. And that's it for me. We got just some pictures on the next page of our kind of zombie apocalyptic vessels before we clean them, and then what they look like afterwards. So
Awesome. Well, thank you, Kevin. I've got just a couple of thoughts on all this stuff. First off, thank you for sharing those photos of that check job. I think that really drives home just how much of that naturally occurring iron and manganese that we are getting in some of our wells, and how that impacts our systems, and how important these massive treatment plants, as expensive as they are, how important they are to our system. On the pumping of the pool out to the road, I've had the same thing happen in my neighborhood. This is maybe as much a question for Hans, but is there any chance that we could work with town council to get something where people have to notify us to say, hey, we're going to be pumping a pool and putting water into the road in this area?
that would be nice.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one, Sam. Because I think officially, and I don't know the details of it. Maybe Matt knows better, but I don't think it's allowed, period.
So Yeah, I actually am happy to hop in here. This is one of the other hats that I wear at DPW. I manage the stormwater management permit regulations and the permit implementation for the town as well. So last year we passed our illicit stormwater discharge related regulations, which kind of were there to prevent these sorts of discharges of private water into public right of ways from non allowed sources. So there are like carve outs for things along the lines of you're allowed to wash your car in your driveway, and that may end up flowing towards the road, but draining up pools or dewatering from construction projects, heavy amounts of water being introduced into the rights of way is not allowed. I'd have to check and see. I can't imagine that there's one carve out for just pools alone, but that's something that somebody can report to DPW and we can follow up on.
Okay. Thank
Now,
you.
what would people do in lieu of pumping it out on their street? Like what's the, they're putting the pool to bed. What are they supposed to do with the water?
That's where I want to double check in on the regs and see what they allow underneath that. So
Okay.
I kind of work on the permit management side. Two of our special project managers slash they're more of like science staff with DPW might be able to better answer what the routes are for people to be able to drain out pool or otherwise.
Yeah, because I've seen quite a few. And I never knew, I always thought it didn't seem right, but I'm like, you know, what do you know? What do you know? But I would think the pool companies should be aware of what they can and can't do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Amber, Unruh, and Brooke will, Withers with our staff would better be able to answer that. And if you guys are
Okay.
looking for information, I can put you guys in contact with them.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
great.
And my last quick thing on the report, I just want to say, I think I can say this on behalf of all the board, but uh, thank you to Lion for his work for us and good, successful flying, happy flying, and maybe we'll see him back on the Cape landing an E190 or an A220 in the near future.
Never know.
So we wish him the best and we hope his
Yeah.
stuff goes well. Also, I just want to say, awesome that hydrant painting is flying along right now, it looks like.
Indeed, we got a small window to get it done. Then kind of that's one we try and knock out before the foul weather, gets here. So chugging away.
Awesome. Well, that's all I've got, guys. Does anyone else have anything from the board?
No, I don't.
All right.
Except thank you
Yeah.
for all your work.
Thank you guys. Have a good rest of your meeting, and we'll see you next month.
Yeah, and I hope everything goes smooth over
Us-
at the,
Keep your fingers crossed.
We
keep them
will.
crossed.
All right. Next up is Matt and Tyler to do the capital project update. Also, Matt, I think there's a congratulation in order to you since the last time we saw you.
Oh, he's
Sorry
in.
about that. I need to get my
Actually,
microphone on.
Yes, I think
What's the congratulations?
you were out last month because weren't you out on maternity leave?
Oh, no.
Oh.
I wish I was having that much fun.
Yeah.
Tyler was the one who was out on paternity leave. I
Sorry.
actually was out getting my nose broken.
Well, I hope that went well. And Tyler, congratulations on the new family member.
Thank you.
And my
Yeah.
apologies for confusing you guys.
No, that's okay. I mean, congratulations to me for that too. Also, I promise I'm looking at you guys. I'm just in between my project update screen and also the Zoom screen, but I'm happy to jump in here with our project updates. So the first one is one that we haven't had much movement on in the last couple months while we're working through some of the background issues on the new well exploration program. Mike basically says that we don't have much to report on. I think that's still working through some of the legal channels right now and is something that's slow moving, but we're hoping to pick up moving forward. Likewise, with the pilot study for both the Mary Dunn and Airport wells, we have that on tap to complete our review of the report. But in getting some of these other projects out the door and into construction, this is one that we're putting on the back burner for the moment. And it's not forgotten, but we'll be getting into that in future updates. Item number 3 is for the Straightway Water Treatment Facility and the replacement of the Hyannisport well, as well as the Simmon Pond well. We've had quite a bit of movement on this project since I last saw you guys. We had basically gotten our approval from town council for additional funding, and we're then able to sign DOC, Daniel O'Connell Sons, our contractor, to the construction contract, and begin planning the pre-construction meeting between them, us, Veolia, as well as the Kleinfelder team to be able to begin mobilizing the site in October. So right now, we're working on putting together in the background also a ceremony for kicking off the construction of the project. So we'll be looking to communicate with the members of the board over the next month or so as we try and plan that and invite members of town council, obviously the water board, DPW, Kleinfelder, Veolia, and then also Daniel O'Connell Sons, and also the Mass DEP SRF office, just to bring everybody in and kind of celebrate kicking off construction on what's been a long design process that we're excited to begin building. Happy to answer any questions if you guys have any for what I've covered so far.
I'm glad to see this thing's moving along.
Yeah.
This is actually a question for Hans. Do we still have that really gummed up check valve floating around, or did they get rid of that?
No, it's, let me see. No, that one was way too big to and way too heavy to put in my back pocket.
Okay.
I do want to mention the groundbreaking ceremony dates that we're looking at. I haven't made a decision yet, but we're looking at the last in the last week of October. We're looking at probably Tuesday. Hold on, let me see.
I think it was the 28th,
28th,
Thursday the
29th,
30th.
and 30th. One of those 3 days. And the ceremony would start probably at 11 o'clock in the morning. So if any of the board members would have a conflict, it would be good to let me know now so we can narrow it down. It also depends on the town manager when he is available, but we're looking at those 3 dates and that time.
So you're looking at either the 28th, 29th, or 30th. So
Yes.
Tuesday or Thursday. Okay. I don't have a problem with any of those.
Okay, so we haven't made a final decision yet,
Right.
but we would like to know if any of you guys have a conflict. The ceremony will take probably about an hour and a half, and we'll try to get some light lunch and some goodies served, but not sure yet. We're still working on all that stuff. So
I have no conflicts on any of those days at that time.
okay, great.
Perfect. So then moving into item number 4, we have the lead service line replacement project, also being run with Kleinfelder. We've continued to work with both the town's GIS department and Kleinfelder's GIS team to continue the transfer of the interactive map tool over to the town of Barnstable's GIS department to continue running it and managing updates moving forward. We're not ready to share that with either DPW management or the board just yet, being that we're still working on getting it functional for review. But our hope is to have that resolved within the coming weeks. Other than that, DPW and Hyannis Water System have been reviewing the report. We've done a couple of different revisions in terms of presentation for the upcoming phases of the project, moving us through compliance following the November 1st, 27 deadline for the next cutoff date in the project, when we need to begin addressing all of the unknown services and the eventual replacement of our existing galvanized requiring replacement services. So we've asked Kleinfelder to revise the report with some of DPW management's comments. They've taken care of that, and now DPW management's in the process of reviewing again, with our hope being to present the findings at the upcoming November meeting to the members of the board. and I'd be happy to answer any questions you guys might have on that. Perfect. So the next two projects, Route 28 in Yarmouth Road intersection project and the Route 28 East sewer expansion project. Neither of those have any updates since the previous meetings. Still in the same holding pattern that we had been at the last meeting I saw you guys. Item number 7, the Ocean Street water main project. Back in July, we had held a meeting between DPW, Hyannis Water System, Veolia, and Dirtworks to review installation of the splash pad. DPW staff on the project is continuing to revise those project plans and specifications for the splash pad based on comments that were received during this meeting. They're looking to get back underway with the project this fall, but we're working on revising those submittals right now to make sure that we're all on the same page before construction. And then I'm going to kick it over to Tyler for item number 8.
Thank you, Matt. Good evening, members of the board. Hope everyone is well. Been a quick 6 weeks for me as paternity leave wrapped up. Mary Dunn during that time has had some work done, though there, as we had previously discussed in previous meetings, with the delay due to the RTU cabinet, that is moving ahead. We've received submittals from the contractor, and we're finalizing our review of those to ensure that it's going to function the best that it can for the wellhead. And there have been some other milestones completed on site. The driveway is finally paved. The well pump has been installed and tested. We are awaiting results from the contractor. Standby generators tested and security systems being finalized. The utilities, gas, electric, communications have been set up for the building. So, though things have been slow, we are moving ahead. In terms of timeline, we have contract extensions towards the end of the year for both the contractor and the engineer to wrap things up, with about an 8 to 10 week production to then installation. We are looking approx for the RTU cabinet to arrive on site approximately end of November, but more information to follow as that becomes more apparent. Any questions from the members of the board?
So, quick question. Once you get it, you said end of November, so right after Thanksgiving, we get the cabinet in.
Yep.
Be able to fire everything up quickly and.
It'd be installed at that point, and then they'll come out for a final test to ensure that it is functioning properly now that this communication piece ties everything together. So I don't have an idea. I'll confer with the contractor, report in next meetings, as a little more detail as to what that looks like, but relatively should be a quick. The amount of work left should be relatively small, I think, suffice to say.
Great.
All right. If no other questions, back to you, Matt. Thank you.
Perfect. So item number 9, we have the Mary Dunn water main replacement project. We have gotten this project through bidding since we last spoke, and I've identified C. Naughton Corporation as our low bidder. Procurement and C. Naughton are working on contracting, and the kickoff meeting is planned for the end of September. Happy to answer any questions you guys may have on this one. Perfect. Moving along, we have item number 10, the Mary Dunn Tank number 1 rehab project. There's been a lot of movement in this project between the end of August and early September. Dynamic, our contractor signed for the project, successfully mobilized the first week of September and worked with Veolia on quickly getting the tank drained. Completed the erection of their scaffolding system back on the 5th. And then they had been working with us and Dynamic to provide a request for a change in construction hours, both for the weekday period as well as the weekend. They wanted to add a Saturday shift. We worked with both them and Dynamic to ensure that this was done at a zero cost extension to the town from both of their parties. This was done in part to allow Dynamic to quickly work through the project scope. They're from the New Jersey area, so it was in their best interest to be able to wrap up being up in the New England area on a weekly basis. Originally, they were running it until November, but they're now anticipating that we should probably have the tank finished, tested, and back online within the next 2 to 3 weeks or so. This past week, they completed the sandblasting of both the interior and exterior of the tank, as well as priming. And this week, they are beginning to work on the mastic coatings on the interior of the tank. So we're progressing very quickly through that. And I'm happy to say that it looks like we'll be well ahead of schedule. And I'm happy to answer any questions you guys may have.
That's awesome. That's just absolutely amazing.
Awesome. And then the last one would be the Crocker Street Water Main Replacement Project being run by DPW Engineering. Mike Tu and I have been kind of heading up this project together. We've identified JW Dubus as our low bidder on the project and have begun holding pre-construction meetings with their team. The target date for starting construction would be September 29th, and we're anticipating a pretty quick turnaround time on this, being that it's such a short stretch of water main work. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Got nothing.
Well, it's been a while since I saw you guys, and it was great catching up. And if you guys have any questions, look forward to hearing from you. Otherwise, see you at the next meeting, and look forward to working on the kickoff ceremony for the Straightway project.
Thank you, Matt. You guys are doing a great job. I know you've got a ton of projects up in the air right now. So I'm glad to see some are flying along, and I think it's going to be a big end of the year for the water department and DPW engineering.
I think so too. Thanks for the time today, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. And again, Tyler, congrats on the new baby.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And
Thank you, everyone.
congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Have a nice night.
Thank you. Okay, next up is the review of uncollectible accounts and liens and a vote on this. So for the newer board members, every summer we review the accounts that are behind for this year, and we have the ability to place a lien on their property instead of shutting them off. You will see a list in front of you of the liens, the total amount that's owed, how much we'd be leaning this year. I'll let Hans present a little bit more, then I've got a few comments, and then we'll obviously have time for questions from the board before we do a vote.
Let's start out about the lien process. So in the town of Barnstable, the only lien we can do is the previous fiscal year lien. So whatever charges were assessed in fiscal year 25 is what we could lien if they were not paid. So that's one thing. The other part of the general overview is that most of the liens are on properties that we try to collect. They're abandoned or and the water is already shut off. They're just going through probate or anything else. So that's that situation. So there's no serious problem with that. There are a few special problems, let's call them that way, where we have people that rent properties and they have renters in there, so that means that we cannot shut them off. And for whatever reason, they refuse to pay, or they have a payment plan, or any more difficult situations. And those are on there too, and you will see that in the spreadsheet, and they can be liened, and we do that. So our accounts receivable stays within reason. And that's kind of the big picture of it. After the board discusses this and votes for it, what I'll do is I'll swing by, and each of the board member needs to physically actually sign one piece of paper that I'll I'll present to each one of you, and then it will go to the tax assessors. They process it, and then starting January 1st, 2026, it will go on the tax bill for that specific property. And that is how we collect. And then it gets pulled out of our accounts receivable spreadsheet. So, and that way we can manage the money that we are owed better.
So I just know you got a question, Carlos, but before we get there, I just have a couple of things I want to note. So we do this every summer. Last year we had about $58,000 owed to us. If you'll see, we're actually got that down to about a little over 35,000. So huge props to the front office staff for getting that done. I do know we had one person that was one around in Calcitrant non-wanting to pay, and they ultimately lost their house, and we collected that at the auction, the real estate auction. Also, we leaned last year about $16,000, and that's below 10,000 now. So again, huge shout out to the front office for getting these numbers down. This is money that we're spending officially through pumping and providing water that we're not collecting revenue on, that we're supposed to be.
Right.
So every dollar we can collect helps the rest of the ratepayers not have to pay more to make up for these people and these overdue accounts, and also helps us better manage our funding. So having said that, Carlos, I think you had a question.
Well, I do. It's more like a social type of question. Is that kids involved in a house like that? Is that seniors who doesn't have any condition to pay the water bill? Is there any rainy day fund that the department, our business have in order to provide those people with the help?
Okay, I can sort of answer that.
I think I can answer the rest of it.
So on the residential customer side, there are three levels, actually four levels of protection for a difficult situation. One is if somebody has a child under 1 year old. The other one is if somebody has a very serious sickness. And the third one has to do with financial hardship. And then there's an overall one that is over 65. So those are actually similar levels as what is under the state of Massachusetts Department of Utilities, which oversees electric companies, gas companies, and private water companies. They don't oversee us, but our regulations are very similar because they make sense and they're reasonable. In practicality, we have some elderly people that they don't have the financial means to pay their water bill, and most of the time they are behind. What we do require is some kind of a payment. So even if it's $5 a month or $10 a month, but you got to pay something. And most of the time, people are reasonable about that, and they are thankful and they work through that. And we do get those payment plans set up for them. Long term, it's fine, because eventually, when the property sells or changes hands, the estate, eventually we do get our money anyways. And, there's no sense in creating all kind of crises in town when we don't need to. So that's kind of the background. We try to be reasonable with people and find out, if somebody is truly in a difficult situation or if they are just pains in the neck and just don't want to pay just because.
Right.
And we had a couple of those too, and eventually they understand that we do not go away. And the shut-off valve, the curb stop at the property line is a very powerful tool. But with that comes a lot of responsibility too on the water department. And we try to be reasonable and fair with people and understanding. Does that sort of answer your question, Carlos?
Yes, yes, Dick. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I hate to see families go through a hardship or kids go through things without water. So I don't know if we as a board can create some type of rainy day fund for that kind of thing for the lost. But I think it's town council have to do that kind of thing, right? I'm not sure.
Actually, what's happening is the water supply division, like the DPW, we do not have a rainy day fund, but there's quite a listing that we have, especially the ladies up front that handle these collection calls. They have a listing, and one of the many opportunities is within the town. There's a fund within the town that gives out or that helps pay the water bill, electric bill. You have the needy fund from the Cape Cod Times. There is Catholic charities, I think St. Peter de Paul or something like that. There's like 4 or 5 different options where people they have to do the work in the sense of they have to submit the paperwork, they have to fill it out, and there's a lot of paperwork involved. And then we have very regularly, especially when we had difficult times, where we did get needy funds checks, going, because the money doesn't go to the person. It goes from the needy fund directly to the gas company, the water company, whatever. So in that way, there's no temptation, and it really goes directly where it needs to go. And yes, we do have those situations, and we always try to help people out.
That's great. Thanks, Hans. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hans,
Please.
I do have a quick question. There are a couple commercial accounts. So are they handled differently than the residential for payment plans or, hardship or anything like that? Or do you do the same with the commercial? Looks like there are
Yes,
two.
yes, they handled differently.
Okay.
Because it's a commercial account, we don't have those safety net in place.
Mhm.
We're not required to do that. In practicality, businesses sometimes have a hard time too. So if we can work out a payment plan, if a business owes, like, for instance, $2,000, and they're just having a tough time and they want to spread it out over a couple of months, that's fine with us. We'll work with them.
Okay. So a commercial doesn't mean, let's say if it's a couple apartments, that's still considered residential, right? That's not commercial.
That depends.
Okay.
It
Because I
depends
see.
on how they want to set it up.
Okay. Okay.
So Manuel Brito, for instance, number 19 on the list, close to the
Mm-hmm.
end. He's a special customer that needs a lot of talking to get that
Okay.
figured out. Okay, and the
Oh,
other one is Susan Ambrose. It's one of those situations where there's no water to that property, so it's off. It's just she needs to pay, and
yeah.
it ain't happening yet.
Okay.
Till she sells the property, eventually we're always going to get paid.
Right.
That's a good
As
thing
long
about
as
the
you
water
have
company.
right.
The fortunate thing is, being the town, we have as I understand it, we have a super senior lien position. Like, we get to
Yes,
jump to the head of the line with taxes,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
so we get
yes, we
paid
do.
off before debt gets paid off.
Yes.
Yes, except when it's the federal government.
We take a back seat.
Yeah.
We all do.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right.
Okay. So we need to vote on this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Hans, one thing I did note, you did not have a signature block for Tim.
Yes, I noticed that.
Oh, crap. Sorry, Tim. Um,
We love you.
Basically, what's happening is when I did my spreadsheet, I screwed it up. Let me when I go around, when I come around and knock on the doors to get a signature, I'll make sure it's on there. I basically just screwed up with how I printed it. So my apologies. Sorry.
No problem.
He doesn't look too offended right there.
This is kind of a theme in my life, so
Oh, no.
it's all right. No, I'm
No.
joking.
All right. So I think we need to motion to, how would you say, is to lien the properties as presented on the list dated August 28th, 2025. Is that a good way to say it, Hans?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make the motion. So we're going to motion to lien the properties as listed on the chart and paperwork provided by Hans dated August 28th, 2025.
Okay, I second that motion.
Thank you, Louise. All right. Going around the horn. Tim,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Louise,
Yes.
Carlos,
Yes.
and I vote yes as well. Thank you, guys. It's the least fun thing we do all year, I think,
Yeah.
but we have to be fair and equitable with everybody. So,
Sam, sorry about that. I just make sure that is there any message we can send on a bill to those people who own the money that it is something available out there for them to get help?
Hans,
It is already on the back of the bill. It's very detailed, and all the people we talk to, we reach out a lot. Multiple phone calls. We knock on doors. We have door knockers, the tags multiple times. Um, it is nearly impossible if you're willing to communicate as a customer, not to communicate with us. Most of the time, what happens is um, people do not want to communicate till it's really close to shut off time.
Thank you.
all right. Next up, State of Water Supply Conservation. Hans, quick update on this?
Sure. Yeah, we're back in a level 2 drought. We voted on it. The board voted on it last month. We did another advertisement. It's back on the website. And everybody else in Massachusetts, not all of the districts, but most of them are in a drought situation. So we need to do more rain dances, I guess. But we are on a technical note. We have enough water. We pump and fine. Our groundwater levels for our wells are still good, so we don't have to worry about that. But it is, especially for forest fires, it's dangerous because there's just not everything is very dry. Um,
Yes.
that's where we're at.
All right. Thank you, Hans. Any questions on this from anybody?
No, we just need more water.
Yeah.
We need
Do
more
your rain
rain.
dances.
Yeah.
All right, last item matters, not reasonably anticipated by the chair. I've got one quick thing, which is those translations of the water reports. Hans, do you have a quick update on where those stand? It sounds like we made some good progress on them.
Yes, they are actually being printed right now. So probably in the next for our October meeting, the board packages should have some in there, and then Carlos, I'll drop off a bunch for you to distribute at specific locations that you know of. Okay.
And I want to add that we had a couple of our staff members, one from the front of house and one of the guys from Veolia, who were both fluent in Portuguese and Spanish, and were really helpful with reviewing these to make sure they made sense. You know, that it didn't just technically translate correctly, but it was logical. So I want to give a thank you to them for their extra work on that.
That's great. Thank you. That's wonderful.
Yes.
All right. I have nothing else. Does anyone else have anything they wish to add?
I just want to add how thankful I am to have you guys do this in Spanish and Portuguese. You have no idea how people are uninformed and they need to be informed with the situation that we have here. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, anytime. So,
All right. Not hearing anything else. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
I'm
Thank you, Carlos. Second.
God.
All right. Louise,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Carlos,
Yes.
and I vote yes. We'll see you guys all next month in person. Just as a reminder, 6 p.m. We're going to be doing our big first read of the water of the budget. So it's going to be a big
Right.
meeting.
Great. Thank you.
In the selectmen's.
Yep.
yes, yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Selectmen's room. Okay.